50 bodies will be transported today. There were 200 bodies on the train that arrived in Kharkiv yesterday, but only 50 bodies travelling today. They hope to get all 200 bodies out to the Netherlands by the end of the week. Now, this morning at around 11 o'clock Ukrainian time, 9 o'clock UK time, there will be a farewell ceremony, and one of the people who's going to be present there is the British ambassador to Ukraine, Simon Smith. Simon, this is a moment that the families have been waiting for so desperately for so long. It really is going to be emotional, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're here to pay our respects, obviously, to the victims of MH17 as they make their trip in the first instance back to the Netherlands. As you said, the first bodies will be transported in about an hour's time, and we're here to pay our respect to them, to remember that for each one of the victims there are grieving families, there are grieving friends. For each one of the victims there is a life needlessly lost. But I think it's very important that the Ukrainian authorities have arranged this opportunity for us to show our respect as this phase of their journey is started.
And last week was a moment when the war in Ukraine sort of impacted on the global community. And now the international community, I suppose, has to come together to try and work on the process of repatriation and identification. What is the British government doing? What can it do to help the British families?
Well, we have 6 experts hard at work in Kiev at the moment, crash investigation experts. We've had people also out from our police who are experts in disaster victim identification. We've had one of them working here in Kharkiv in the last 24 hours, playing a leading role in making sure that this process of actually bringing the bodies of the victims from the train onto the airplane is completed efficiently and effectively. And I think that's a very important thing that we need to do out of respect for the families of the victims, because of course they will want to see both that their loved ones are being treated with respect, but also that this operation is completed effectively, that it's got on with as quickly as it can be.
And the international community, Britain included, has been putting enormous pressure over the last few days on the separatists to allow access to the crash site and to release the bodies. How difficult has it been for the families, knowing their loved ones are lying in a field somewhere and they couldn't be accessed?
I have immense respect for the families. I think that although I haven't been in touch with them direct, they've been in touch with our people in London. From what I've heard, I have enormous respect for them and how, the extent to which they have understood that this is an extremely difficult operation, an operation that requires a lot of different nations coming together to pool their expertise and to apply their skills and efficiency in making sure it's done quickly. But I think obviously the families will be watching the process very closely. There'll be a further ceremony in the Netherlands when the first bodies of the victims arrive. And of course, our colleagues in the Foreign Office and elsewhere in the British government are in constant touch with the families to ensure they know what's going on and to ensure that they have the opportunity to choose which part they want to play in what's going on.
Simon Smith, thank you so much. Simon, as I said, will be attending that ceremony at 11 o'clock, and then the Hercules, you can probably see through the gates there behind me, will be one of the planes taking off. There's also a C-17 from Australia, both headed for Eindhoven, where the bodies will be met on the other side.